Hello traders. In this video I'm going to show you how I made $2,574.55 trading the wheel strategy on Square. I started this trade August 18th, 2022. On this candle here, I sold an $80 cash secured put and I got assigned shares on Friday the 19th. That was one of a few mistakes I made in this trade. I got in too early, but I thought, okay, I've got my shares now, I'll live with it, and I'll start selling calls against it. Bring in my spreadsheet here, and I'll link in the description a video on how I built this spreadsheet. So I was able to sell a call early on, and then the price of Square was dropping, so I went ahead and sold some more puts against it. And I was bringing in a little bit of money, and as the trade went forward, I wound up being assigned 100 shares again at around the middle of September. It would have been this trade right here. I sold a 66 put on September 13th. I got assigned on the 16th, so now I had 200 shares with an average cost of 73. Let's go back to the charts. So the 66 put I sold would have been on this candle, and then I got assigned here on Friday the 16th. Again, another mistake on this trade was I got my second lot of shares too close to my initial lot at $80. Had I been a little bit more patient, maybe I could have got some down in the 50s, and that really would have brought my cost down. I would have had my cost maybe around 70 or even in the upper 60s, and that would have been good. So as we went along, I kept selling premium when I could. I sold some more puts. I know I sold some puts in the 40s or the low 50s, and I sold calls when I could. I know I even sold some calls against my $66 shares, thinking if I get called away on those, I will add to the position at a lower price, bring my costs down. Take another look at my spreadsheet here. So as I said, I continued with the option selling up through November and into December. And in December, I made a critical mistake on this trade, and let's take another look at the chart. It was this run up right here around the 13th, 14th of December. Square was right at my cost, and I missed an opportunity to sell high-priced options. I believe the Fed meeting was right around that time, and I think that's why I held off. Now, I remember I had an order out to sell 276 calls, thinking we'd be up here at some resistance, and it would be, if I got called away, it would be some 3 points on the stock, but I didn't get filled, and then after the announcement, Square had a downturn, and we're back down here in the upper 50s again. So, towards the end of the year, Square kind of finally started catching a bid and has had a nice run in January. And I continued my call selling. So back to the spreadsheet here, you can see in late December I started, I guess I had a couple of calls sold, at my second lot price, and then I had sold one above that. But here in the first of the year, I was able to sell calls above my cost. Now, let's take a look at these calls that were sold on Jan 6. Or I guess I sold one January 6th, one January the 12th. No, I'm sorry. It was these here. I sold these for Jan 20 expiration. I had a 75 and a 76 strike call sold. Well, on expiration Friday, I covered those for $4 and for $2. And then I actually sold 77 strike calls for Jan 20 expiration for $69 and $75. And over here is the stock price. This is the stock price when I sold these calls. So the stock price was $72.49 and $73.16 on January 20th. Bringing back the chart again, this day is January 20th, and Square had a wide range that day. I wish I had been more patient on that day, which was another mistake I made. But Square's range that day was a little over 71 to 76.19. And I sold my calls when Square was trading basically 72.5 and 73.16. But anyway, my thinking was I covered the options. I made most of the profit on those options. and I've given myself another point potential if called away on the week of January 27th. Well, this is the week of January 27th, and it was another nice green week for square. Now, my final mistake on this trade was made on January 25th, and I'm going to link another video. And take a look at that video after you watch this one, because I could still be in the trade had I taken action on Wednesday the 25th. That is a thumbnail picture of that video. So the last candle here shown is the 27th. Square closed the day at 83.83, and I had my shares called away at 77. So the final breakdown here, I took in just under $17.75 in option premium, and on the stock I sold both my shares at $77. So I only had 38 cents fees in the sale of those shares. So I netted out just under $800 in the sale of the stock. I'll slide this over here. So the final results on this trade are $2,574.55. Mistakes were made on this trade, but overall I'm pleased with the trade. I was in the trade for about 5 months. Lessons will be learned, and I will apply those lessons in the future. If you enjoy this content, I would appreciate it if you'd like the video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, this is Jeff, the Day Trade Mechanic. Thanks for watching.